2015 Ford Escape with the 2.5 four-cylinder engine. This job will pretty much be the same no matter what engine it is and transmission. We're just going to be replacing the CV axles and the CV axle seals today. And for this job, we have the passenger side CV axle seal. That's a National Oil Seal, part number 711057. For the driver's side, 710709. And for our CV axles, passenger side from Precision CV shaft, we have Foxtrot Delta 8208 and Foxtrot Delta 8221. This is for the driver's side, this is for the passenger side. Let's get to it. And for this video, we're going to be focusing on the passenger side of this vehicle. If you can do the passenger side, you can do the driver's side. The passenger side is the more difficult one. It has a few more steps, and it's the one that I want to cover. If you're watching this video and you can comprehend what we're doing on the passenger side, you'll be able to do the driver's side, no problem. So don't freak out that I didn't cover the driver's side. It's okay, take a deep breath. You have a whole brain. I know you can figure it out. First step, we're gonna go ahead and remove our wheel. It's held on with 5 19mm lug nuts. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove our CV axle nut. It is a 32mm. All right, our old CV axle is, yuck. I forgot that the boot was blown. Now I got axle grease all over my hands. Our CV axle is loose. If yours, that's a funny way to say that. Our CV axle is loose, as you just saw me push it in. If yours is stuck or seized inside of the hub, you can get yourself a punch, a metal punch. Hold it right here in this inner circle and smash it with a hammer, and it should free it up, hopefully. If not, you'll have to remove the whole hub, and it's a big deal, but we're not gonna cover that. Just do your best. If you can't get it out that way, you can put the CV axle nut back on to protect the threads and smash it in, but we're replacing the CV axle, so I guess you don't really need to worry about the threads, but just force a habit to say that, I guess. Anyway, and as you can see right here, the CV axle boot is torn and is spewing that axle grease everywhere. So I'm probably going to go ahead and replace these brake pads too, because if any material gets on the brake pads, oil, grease, anything like that, the brake pads will actually absorb that material, and it will significantly decrease the value or the life expectancy of that brake pad. So I'm probably going to let the customer know about that and go ahead and replace those brake pads as well. But see if I can't do this without getting too much of a mess on me. The next step, we're going to need to remove this bolt and nut. It's a little shim. It squeezes that lower ball joint spindle that sticks up right here, so we can disconnect the steering knuckle from the lower control arm. The stud side is a 15 and the nut side is a 17. So to hold that bolt, I've got the box wrench on this side and my little power tool on this side. Make sure it's turned into reverse so I can actually move it. And once that's done, you can actually use that bolt to push it out, and you can just take it out in one piece like that. Nice and easy. Keep these together so you're less likely to lose them. It's a lot easier to find this than this nut if you drop it on the ground and it rolls underneath of something. Next fun part is going to be to remove the steering knuckle from the lower control arm. Sometimes you can get real lucky with these, other times they will fight you to the death. So it all just depends. I usually like to use the hammer and pulley combo. You see I broke it loose. And let's see if it'll let me pull it out. It doesn't look like it. There it goes, nice. So yeah, that one worked out pretty nicely, but sometimes they can be a real pain. And this thing is covered in so much axle grease, I'm just gonna go ahead and put on some gloves. Ow, 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 ow. There we go. Okay. Use up this can. Try to get as much of that axle grease off as possible because I just don't really feel like wearing that home tonight. Alright, and this is the part that is different from the driver's side. Is right here on the passenger side you have this center brace slash bearing. And all you need to do to get this off is to remove this little brace held on with two 13mm nuts. And then this brace will pop out and you'll be able to pull the CV axle out. Let's start with the top nut. And there's our brace. And I'm gonna go ahead and put these nuts back on the studs because I really don't want to lose them. And beautiful. And now we're ready to pull the CV axle out. Make sure you have a catch can ready because you will more than likely lose some transmission fluid. I usually like to pre-stage the CV axle. And that way I can just grab it and throw it in. So normally when you're ready to remove a CV axle, you'd get yourself a pry bar and you'd put it between the little gap that's right here between the transmission and the CV axle. This one doesn't have that. On the driver's side, it does. You can see this gap right here. I can put my little pry bar in there and yank this thing right out, no problem. On this side, instead, get yourself a hefty hammer. You can come right in here, right where that bearing is, and you can tap it out right there. I'm just not gonna, because I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna dump transmission fluid the second I do this. So I'm gonna try to keep my camera out of the way and see if I can't do this without taking a bath myself. Oh, yep. So much transmission fluid. It is actually insane. Well, I guess that doesn't matter. We're gonna lose that transmission fluid because I forgot we gotta do the seal. So, never mind, let's go ahead and let that drain on out, I guess. What you can do when you're done is that if you want to measure how much has drained out, you can probably just put that same amount back in, or you can take this nut right here, or bolt, I believe that's an 11mm, drain everything out of it, and then refill it. I'm pretty sure it's 9 quarts, but double check with your part supply or provider to double check that. But I am pretty sure it's 9 quarts. Mercon LV, I think. But again, double check with your part supplier. Don't quote me on that, I'm not positive. I haven't looked it up myself yet. All right, to remove the CV axle seal, get yourself a decent screwdriver, and right here, right on this lip, you can see where the metal contrasts differently between the lip of the seal and the transmission. You can put that right there, hit the back of your screwdriver with a hammer, and you should be able to get that seal to start pushing out, and you can start wiggling your screwdriver around it and break it out of there. All right, you see I got my lip in there. And now it's just a matter of walking this screwdriver around, slowly prying up until this thing pops out and dumps transmission fluid all over me. There it goes. Gotta get the camera right here. Anyway, this thing's about ready to pop out anyway. Yep, there it goes. Got fluid coming out behind the seal now. Now I'd like to exchange these seals pretty quickly, so go ahead and get the new seal ready. It didn't make any difference at all. This is probably one of the more difficult CV axle seals to install because the exhaust system is right there. So and then just work your way around it, give it some nice light taps, and then before you're done, run your finger around it and make sure that there's no gaps and that that piece of metal is sealed down there nice and tight, and you're good to go. Let's go ahead and reinstall our CV axle. Taking lots of care to not hit that new seal. And then we can slide that in like so and put our brace back on it. Take our nuts back off. And put that clamp, I guess I'll call it a clamp back on. And 13 millimeter, put them back down. Bing, bang, boom. Here's some brake clean. Clean off the transmission fluid. You want to make sure we leave a nice clean work area. Get in all these grooves to get every little drop out. So that way when you're working on this vehicle next time, you see a leak there, you know you have a possible transmission seal leak, not that you just left a mess last time you did this job. You always want to make sure you leave vehicles clean so you're not redoing work that's not actually a problem. So that'll dry on its own. Let's go ahead and get to the reinstallation of this CV axle. Go ahead and remove our new CV axle nut. Come on, there you go. This thing is so yucky. I don't want to touch anything over here. And slide that back in. Yeah, I'm getting gloves. It can be a little bit difficult, so if you have a friend, take advantage of that and ask him to help you line this thing back up. I don't have any friends, so I just learned to do everything by myself. Oh, now I'm depressed. now I'm sad. All right, and take your time lining that up. There we go. All right, well, that went in nicely, I guess. And with that lined back up, we can go ahead and, is that in the camera shot? Anyway, with that lined back up, the lower ball joint, go ahead and put our nut and bolt setup back on here. God bless it. I'm so tired of touching this net. And again, that's a 15 on this side and a 17 on the nut side. Forgot to put my 17 back on there. Beautiful. All right, we can go ahead and put our CV axle nut on and get her tightened down. Now, these CV axle nuts I don't really care for. They have these little lobes that are kind of pressed in. You can see where they're pressed in by a machine right here. That locks this nut in place, but it also kind of damages the threads, which can make reusing the CV axle, if you need to remove this nut for any reason, kind of tricky. I don't know if they do that with the intent of forcing you to replace the CV axle every time, but I don't really care for it. I do recommend, if you have time, to get a different nut. Just a standard nut, one that has the crowns on it like this, that can lock into place, or that have the washer on it, because this one will go down real tight. Or, you know, just get yourself one of those ones that has the nylon ring built into the end of it, and that nylon ring actually seats down into the grooves and seals it. That's the one I would recommend. Get that one if you can. But unfortunately, I don't have time. Put that down nice and tight. This needs to be nice and tight because this literally holds the wheel bearing together. Make sure this is down nice and tight. With that, that's pretty much all there is to it. Put your wheel back on, take it for test drive, check for leaks at your CV axle seal. After a nice short test drive, that should be about what you need. Refill your transmission fluid, obviously, don't forget that, I almost did. And other than that, if you'd like to see another video on one of these escapes, check out that one right there. Made that one just for you. But other than that, if this video helped you out, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.